Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 7 of the 5th season of the Batty Overwatch League. We are in game number 3 with the All Dabs No Blab versus the Mad Cow Disease. And I, of course, am casting UTech with the ever-lovable Cal, or Hook
Hello.
Resets. How you doing, Cal?
Doing well. Just waiting for games to start, but excited to cast.
Yeah, a little bit of a drama with Destructive Dude unable to get here until now. And guess what? You know what that means? It means that we are going to actually have a game. We are not going to have to, no one's going to have to hold back saying, oh, hey, we were missing a player. Of course, we weren't at our full strength. You know, we are going to go full on, full force, all dabs, no blads versus Mad Cow Disease. Basically, two titans of the league going at it.
Yeah, both of these teams probably in the upper three of the tiers, I guess, if you consider it that, between Bench Life, Mad Cow Disease, and the Dabs. They've definitely been showing a lot of promise, but I'm still pretty unsure about like who's the best. I thought Bench Life would be pretty unopposed, but I think Mad Cow Disease actually beat them 2-1 last time. So it's anyone can win the top, and that makes it exciting. It's not just a blowout like for the past 2 seasons. So.
And we're finding that just with how the changes of this meta has been going, I mean, things have been going up in the air. It's been a lot of rock, paper, scissors, play what you can play. And if you can play it well, you can just generally outplay the teams. But the DPS has definitely been the star roles for this meta. Before being, whoever had, say the best dive tanks, or whoever had maybe the best Reinhardt or I guess you could say the better Hanzo when it came down to the, the Dragon Strike meta, the Wombo combo meta.
Yeah. Back in before Zenyatta could trans through it.
Yep. Back before, it was because of
if you could damage boost it. Yeah.
But we are going to see some fun picks coming out of the Dabs, if I can remember who they are going to be defending first. Senpai. Already going down. Fat L.
First blood to the water.
And you know what? I'm just going to take a sip of my drink because if you're at home there in Twitch chat, play along with the drinking game because it's more fun to watch bad Overwatch with a drink.
And what we will see starting out for the Dabs is actually Freefy on this Reaper. Normally we'd see him more on Junkrat, but maybe he knows something we don't. On the other side, Mad Cow Z is actually playing Mad Cow for the first time instead of Kazuki Beans. Are going to be running Bad Goats.
Yeah. Especially since they know they have gotten, a lot of value out of Kazuki Beans. Probably something to do with their coconut internet. But already doing a great start, and crash goes Scooter into the likes of the Dabs, or the Mad Cow Disease, trying to keep my team straight. Mad Cow Disease able to actually counter it and stay alive. Scooter doing a little bit of a ballsy play, but unable to do too much. Your pen dry staying in that corner, able to take out Mad Cow. So
but he's just gonna get staggered. I don't think he'll be able to get out. No, he's just gonna get blocked out by TV. This is gonna be a massive stagger. If they just leave him, never mind. They could have just left him in Diva form, but looks like it's gonna take forever for him to respawn and come back. Thankfully, it is 2 CP, but still, this is looking good. And Destructive Dude charges in, but gets flashbanged immediately. Lucky Tune pops his rally and gets charged immediately.
Yeah, and a big shatter coming out of Scooter just to try to reset the fight, making sure that the kill's going on the side of all Dabs. Just keeps on going as they're going to be able to reset the fight as they're going to have a little bit of breathing room with 6.5 minutes left on their defense.
Yeah. Great job by Spagooter there, actually. Getting the ulti down, I believe, and just slapping them all to the ground, making sure Huckleton couldn't stay alive with that Brigitte.
Yeah, but let's look over on the side of Mad Cow as they do have TV Junkie just getting that Graviton Surge. They also have Destructive Dude with the hammer down. Running that triple tank lineup, they should be able to get something good out of there, especially since Crystallize has the nano boost. They should be able to, as long as they can get a few Reinhardt swings into a big grab hunter, they should be looking good. Big Senpai coming in from above, getting
nice sleep.
out of anything, and then ults galore go down. Graviton Surge comes into your Pendrive, coming in with the self-destruct and getting only one person, but Dabs looking like they have the man.
They haven't gotten the tick yet.
Briefly looking like he's gonna be taken down. Destructive Dude staying on the point. Senpai just taking snooze up on the top. Great jobs out of Crystallize, just getting those sleeps, making sure that no one on top. Your Senpai in particular cannot do anything as they take the first point.
Yeah, they learned from the past couple of weeks that Senpai really hard carries this team, and Crystallize just says, no, you're gonna be sleeping for the rest of the match, and he's just stuck there. After he tried ulti, gets slept, he gets res after he dies from the grav, and then just gets slept again. Good job out of Crystallize, showing that he plays more than just off tank, and showing some Ana gameplay.
Yeah, you have to give him where credit is due. How many sleeps? I saw him at least get 2, if not 3 sleeps onto that McCree. First taking out the high noon, unable to get any value out of that. Full duration sleep, and then continue on out of the ults. Just sees him like a homing missile again, and continues on and just keeps going.
Yeah, it didn't look like Freefeet could get any value out of that Doomfist pick, and we're gonna look at the opposite side and see a similar DPS rollout with the Reaper again, but this time TV decides he will take the plunge. Water takes a second.
You know, it's about that time for the Polar Plunge. You know, just help fight some whatever they're gonna, you know, raise money for. I don't know what they do with that stuff. I don't do that because jumping into cold water is dumb.
Yeah. Not comfortable. And out of the offense of the Dabs, they're going to be running Freefeet with that Brigette. They've been running a lot of solo DPS Senpai, but this time they're going to run some Goats of their own. Goats looks like it's popular on attack here.
Yeah, definitely going to see an interesting defense match.
But they're going to find TV. Oh, he misses it.
Going in, they're going to be saved by the bubble as this team is going to collapse along in as they're going to continue on. Crystallize, de-meching your Pendrive. Your Pendrive taking out Destructive Dude, so they are down a main tank. But they still have everybody else. Scooter getting caught out by the main portion of Mad Cow Disease as they're going to continue on with an even fight. Huckleton getting taken down by the sleep. Getting Purple and Scarlet taking out with a great boop from Lucio as it looks as though the all Dabs no blab are able to continue with their defense, or actually offense. So it's hard to tell who's really attacking and defending anymore. But they're going to continue on. Destructive Dude finally getting back. Mad Cow Disease looking like he's going to have to try to shift away. Just take his time and see if he can get anything. Just distract them to provide some room for TV Junkie, but unable to do anything as the Dabs continue on to point number 2 with 7 minutes in.
Yeah, they'll slowly get staggered out. Thankfully, I think they did get the D-mech. But the rest of the team is just going to run in with speed boost. And Cockleton gets pinned immediately into the grab, though.
Continue on with the fight. They're already getting 3 people. Destructive Dude switching over to the Ham and trying to get what he can get onto the point. Mad Cow being a little sneaky, gonna see if he can get up big ultimate, getting stunned and boost, nano boost to save his life, but he cannot do anything. That Death Lotus or Death Blossom unable to get much value out of it as he wanted to, and Mad Cow Disease massively trying to scramble to just get anything that they can do just to get a little bit more time. But all Dabs have led, almost everybody is on fire as they're gonna be able to getting 2 points. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of overtime out of these two teams.
Man, we freaking jinxed ourselves where before we're like, all right, this is the last round of the night. It's getting late. We don't want to, hopefully we don't get too many rounds of Overwatch here. But instead we get the full 2 CP. Both teams have 6 minutes. And right now this Goats comp looks pretty unstoppable. Just the defense isn't able to find any picks on them. And the Doomfist pick, which is normally the attempt, just hasn't worked out for either team. Honestly, I'd like to see Freefeet try to swap to Junkrat to try to deal with it, because it's not working. He's looking at Pharah for his defense, but
I mean, it gives you an option to try to deal with all those tanks. You are playing that Pharah. I mean, you have damage from above. But we'll see if free feet on that Pharah is going to actually pay off. Still going with that triple tank, still going with that goats lineup on the side of Mad Cow Disease, having 5 minutes 30 seconds to get. Oh, go ahead.
Right. But I was gonna say, ever since the changes, the Pharah pick isn't actually as good in the goats because they've removed they've removed a bit of her splash damage, so it's just harder to clear stuff out like goats. But she does get higher single target damage, so if she can find someone like that Lucio or like that Ana, or the Brigitte even, can kill them pretty fast if you land 2 directs.
I'm not too convinced yet, because there is a big blob, an easy target, so if you can get a few directs in there, that's a lot of damage coming in. But the Mighty Wolf already taking Evil Light out. That is one less person. That is only 5 people on the side of Mad Cow Disease. Senpai taking out 2 more people as Freefy able to follow up on Crystallize. No more healing coming out. Destructive Dude trying to get one thing and one thing alone. Constellation Prize taking out the Diva of the mech. But the Diva will be able... Nope, Mad Cow actually... no, I'm pardon me, your Pendrive being taken out of the car, and he's going to be slogging a pistol for a little while.
Yep, he's going to be stuck there, and hopefully he's going to get as much ultra as he can fast before this next team fight breaks out. The offense will swap over to a McCree Pharah and a Pharah of their own. Decided they didn't want to run this ghost anymore, so I respect them doing it quick.
Senpai on that Reaper doing a lot of work for when they're trying to rush down all dabs. And Freefy doing a very good job providing suppressing fire in the choke. A little scared to move forward. Freefy taking out Huckleton and Spagooter able to follow up on that. And it looks as though the team fight going in favor of the dabs. They will be able to reset another day. Freefy, the Mighty Wolf having their ults ready on board. Destructive Dude on the Mad Cow Disease with a shatter of his own. Hopefully they can do something. They probably just want to bide their time, try to get an ult advantage so they can go into a fight and win it outright.
What was really important about that defense is that they only had to use the Reinhardt ulti, 1 ulti for a 1 fight and a full reset. That's huge. And they'll have the Pharah ulti, and we'll have to see if TV can snipe her out of the air. Senpai does go a little bit far forwards, but is able to Wraith form out pretty safe forwards.
Ooh, and we're seeing Crystallize being very cheeky with the pharmacy, being able to hold distract people in the background, but Destructive Dude getting a fantastic shatter on his Spagooter, but unable to really follow through with it. Freefy going from above, distracting them from up high with the Justice Rockets, as Spagooter able to come in with the Nano. Keep him on, but he gets taken out, and he just takes himself out of the game, saying, "Hey, I don't even need to be here on this defense."
Like, I did my job. I'm gone. Hey, we'll get to stagger Mad Cow a little bit, hopefully for that Reinhardt to be able to slowly waltz his way back, but man, that might be important if they're fast enough. Destructive Dude does swap over to the Winston, so they can hopefully get a dive to go fast, but they still have this Brigitte, which really doesn't work that well with the Winston Diva. But yeah, they're gonna try to work it out. Spagooter's back, so that Reinhardt fiasco does not end up mattering.
Gonna be definitely a game of space to see what they can actually do. Crystallize popping the Valkyrie, trying to keep everybody up. Evo Light alone is gonna be trying to do what he can. TB Junkie getting a great 2-man ultimate on the pharmacy, as Crystallize able to bring back Evo Light into the fight. But
Evo Light's gone right back because your Pendra gets a nice bomb.
Ooh, and Pendrive doing a great job DMing the Reaper, but Destructive Dude gonna be able to finish off this Diva. Anyone else able to stay on the point, get on the point, but Mad Cow Disease should be able to get the point from this.
They might be able to recontest if your Pendrive can get on, but it's gonna be difficult as Freefy goes in for the point blank barrage. All he gets is the Diva mech for it and loses his life. As it looks like they're just gonna just late stagger and try to buy as much time as they can for their last hold on second point.
They're only gonna be getting 30 seconds from this, so even they should have enough time to reposition themselves. Although the ult advantage is going in favor of Mad Cow Disease. They do have a Mad Monkey with the Primal Rage and they do have the armor, the rallying cry from Brigitte. Seeing what they're going to be able to do as they continue on. TV Junkie switching over to the Doomfist, trying to get a big burst of damage. Evilite doing a great job getting in and starting off the fight as TV Junkie following up Senpai. The DPS lineup of all dabs being taken out. Just trying to salvage what they can with that nano. And the nano coming out of the big bomb coming out. It's also huge! Everyone in the Diva ultimates galore coming out, and Mad Cow Disease is coming out of this clown fiesta of a fight.
But they only have 3 people, so maybe if the defense can come out on time, but they can't, they're getting knocked off. Stop Spagooter.
TV Junkie doing a great job punching himself into the Reinhardt, making sure he cannot get onto the point and getting them 2 more points. 52 seconds left remaining for them, but it is definitely going to be a little bit of an uphill battle coming in for the dabs, as they have 6 minutes and 7 seconds to try to get 2 points themselves.
Yeah, Mad Cow Disease, they must have heard us, and they really didn't want to go the full 12 rounds, so they decided to cut it a little bit closer. You know, only 50 seconds to go on their last offense push. But first, the dabs are gonna have to show what they can do and see if they can get 2 more pushes. Would be surprised if they just didn't run, if they didn't just run goats again, personally. But yeah, that's what would just make most sense to me, as the Mad Cow Disease haven't actually shown a stop to it yet. And what they're looking at right now is a Winston Diva with a Junkrat. Junkrat Mercy combo. This is triple tank, isn't it? Yeah, triple tank with the Junkrat.
Triple tank into this with the Junkrat. And also the Ana on heals. They're definitely going to be playing more towards the point, trying to play the brawl on that. But it could give a little bit of favorability to the dabs, since they do have the Reinhardt with the Brigitte and the Zarya, which favors the brawl. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen. They're gonna be going either to the high ground. Looks like they're gonna be trying to go for that high ground, try to get what they can.
Destructive runs right into them.
Yeah, as they're gonna try to lay down the cleave damage coming down. Freaky getting taken out. TV Junkie doing a great job, already taking out Scarlet and Freaky. That is 2 supports. That is the speed. The legs being chopped off, as well as the shield, as they're going to continue on and try to follow up with whatever they can, as they're going to
they're going too far forwards though here, and they don't have support from their supports are way too far back. They can't give them anything. Evilite's back there on Junkrat just trying to spam into there, but now their tanks are getting picked.
Yeah, unlucky, as we see the entirety of the back line. Huckleton wasn't able to really do too much in terms of healing. Crystallized being far too away from the fight, and they went right into the trap that all dabs set, and they're going to be able to cap this point. Crystallized doing what he can, being sneaky in the background, being a one-man army, but getting taken down. Destructive going to just try to hold on to a few points, but this is very overzealous.
This is really poor for the dabs. Thankfully, Senpai gets picked from TV because they're really far forwards and they have to get out of there. Looks like they will be okay.
There's going to be a lot of momentum as they're going to be trying to speed in, and a crash down coming in from Spagooter, as he's going to be able to deep back and take out Huckleton as well. That is one less healer as they're coming in with a big bomb coming in, taking out Mad Cow in the least. That is one less person that they have to deal with. But a big
nice grab.
Putting everyone in a nice juicy position to cleave down with the Tesla cannon. As they continue on in a counter grab, trying to see what they can. But the fight is already over. Only the tanks survive, but the respawn advantage coming out. Oh wait, no, I'm speaking too soon.
The defense?
Nope, called it correct. The defense getting confused again. The defense is hold.
I thought there were some people who just came out of nowhere, and I think they were just respawning. As defense advantage shines through again, and they also have ult advantage, which is pretty huge. They didn't have to invest too much, and it shows good restraint from them.
You know what the problem I'm having here, Cal, is? I'm not drinking enough. Let's go.
That's the real issue.
Alright. All dabs coming in, trying to see what they can get, but Mighty will already being taken out down that is their main healer. See if they can get any consolation prizes that come in. An ult maybe getting taken down, Mad Cow being wasting that for the defense, but more like a securing ultimate if you ask me, as he's going to continue on and they're just going to be able to route out everyone from the side of the dabs, as that is a dead push already in the making.
Really the worst part about all that is after being picked of their main healer into Mighty Wolf, the rest of the team ends up being able to get a bunch of ult charge for themselves. Now they'll have 4 ultis. They used one and they're still on top. They are gonna Brigitte ulti into it, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Evilite use a tire early on here. And a nice grab to set it up if he can get in there. And he does.
Smooth as silk as that tire comes ramming into the anus of the enemy team.
Feels bad for them.
They'll be able to push out a little bit more. They want to try to get your pen dry, take out D.Va, make sure that they continue this aggression. TV Junkie going to be left alone, as they might be able to take the momentum forward. Scooter not able to get the charge off, but Freepy switching over to the Pharah, maybe with the splash damage. They're seeing a little bit of success on the Pharah before. Maybe they'll be able to do a little bit of the same.
Yeah, they really have nothing to deal with it because the Evilite's on this Junkrat. So we'll have to see what they can do. The Winston's jumping at him. Ooh, a solo grab on the TV.
But anyone else? Ooh, Huckleberry getting taken out. That is one major player being taken out. Scooter trying to get a crash out. Unable to get too much, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the team is already following up. He is going to take out Mad Cow in the meantime, and giving them at least one tick. But Destructive Dude's going to try to heal back up, try to contest again. Crystallize sacrificing himself.
But he does get rezzed. That might be huge, as the grab gets no fun.
And we don't know where that grab is. That doesn't really matter in this fight right now, as they're going to continue on with this brawl. Spagooter just going to be swinging his hammer round and round. Freepy rockets from above, but they're able to stall out. Destructive Dude getting purple, a big purple. Can they actually find the follow-up damage?
The offense is still finding kills. Yeah, this is looking scary, as they only have one more tick left, and I think they're going to get it. After all is said and done, they just end up winning the fight.
A team kill going in favor of the Dabs. They will be going into triple overtime. This should be second to last, if not the last rounds of overtime, if it took them the same amount of time. Unless they just roll right through on both sides. I don't know.
Don't say that. I don't want to hear it. They only have a minute. They can't. They couldn't dare.
How long can it be? Who knows?
No, you know. Oh, there's nightmares of 2CP. I think you were casting the last 2CP that ran this long. I don't remember. I know it was on Volskaya. Interestingly, Volskaya, the only one 2CP that we've had that's done this to us, which is just very offense-sided, it seems. People on defense didn't, at least at the beginning, didn't seem to know how to deal with this Goats comp. It looks like they're cleaning up their act a little bit more, seeing a lot of Pharah play. I expect to see both teams roll it out this time. Senpai on defense, he's gonna be rolling out with the Mei. He loves his pick. We'll see if he's able to get anything with it though.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I don't think I've seen him have success with it yet, but.
And an offense coming out of Mad Cow Disease, coming with the pharmacy combo, with a dive and a soldier on the DPS, as well as double main healer. Briefy already getting a great pick off onto TV Junkie. That is one less person, but he's going to be mitigated by the resurrection coming out of Scarlet. That Mercy, making sure that they stay a good team of 6. And a great job on their part. He's dead again! How is he getting these picks? Briefy doing a great job. Unable to resurrect that again.
And he just needs to jump off right now. They're just all dying.
Yep.
This is 20 seconds to go. I don't even think they're gonna touch the point.
Yeah, this is gonna be definitely a stomp of a defense. They're gonna have to try to do some desperation moves. Maybe they can pump out the Hammond just to get onto the point faster. Destructive Dude doing what he can just to get onto the point, just to touch it. But he's gonna actually have to touch it a little bit more than that, as he's continuing on, but unable to stay alive. Huckleton, the only person left alive standing, but Eva Light gonna be in the sky as Mad Cow is gonna, with his namesake, but briefly getting poke after poke, taking out the enemy Pharah, saying, I'm a little bit higher than you as we continue on, and a solid defense coming out with 4 points being stopped for Mad Cow Disease. Now let's see if one tick can go in favor of
4-4.
the Dabs.
Switching sides.
Yeah, they have a minute and a half. It's very doable. Obviously, it showed how important not like that Pharah pick seemed for them, because TV getting picked twice on that shoulder is just unheard of. It's really uncharacteristic of him, to be honest, and maybe a little bit too aggro. We'll see if they decide to run this this goats comp that they've been loving so far. I wouldn't be too shocked. And on the other side, on the defense, we get to see our favorite robot, Mr. Bastion, protect the president as they expect this. And I like the pick. It's a good cheese tactic just to hold for as long as possible. And they're gonna run double shields with it and Evil Light on the May.
You know, I hope they actually get a tie this map so that everyone wins just a little bit.
Everyone
all
wins.
of this hype for all these plays that happen was basically meaningless because no one could actually win.
Yeah. Welcome to TCP, welcome to Volskaya. We'll see where they decide to hold right now. They're looking to the top, just to the high ground and get TV up there. And we'll see how the Dabs respond to it. They're looking just to get onto the point right now, playing around that Mega perhaps.
But look at TV is exposed.
Oh, he
getting
gets
slept and being purpled. He's gonna stay up as just a little bit long. Can they do anything? Just gonna have to see if they can do anything. Destructive Dude getting purpled himself. Gonna do a ballsy charge, taking out the Diva. Not gonna be able to.
And they just need to die right now.
The Bastion's gonna be able to get. Oh no! Gets the ultimate, but is unable to utilize it as they're gonna continue on. Evil Light gonna see if they can freeze at least one person. That couch.
They're trying to fight
stay alive as much as they can, as Evil Light is the only one left.
And yeah, the offense wins. What happened?
What? I don't know, Senpai. You killed the Bastion. You won the game. You won the game.
You killed the president, and I guess as soon as they jumped down and Mad Cow couldn't keep protecting that Bastion, it just all went down. But TV, nonetheless, will get to play the game as a consolation prize.
Oh, this is that initial charge from Spagooter, just able to continue to just dish out a ton of damage on that counter offensive. As just able to clean up, doing a good job.
Clap, and he got 29 energy kills. Interesting enough, a lot of goats this map. Senpai and TV both respectively doing a lot of work for their teams. But right now, the Dabs win out.
No, I was not expecting that. And I'm looking at the replay. Just the position of where TV Junkie was, Senpai was able to hide behind the barrels and just was not able to get any headway with Senpai. Just Senpai was able to take that cover, and it was just so effective.
Yeah, I would have liked to see TV move off the top, off that Bastion. We will see Mad Cow getting subbed out for Kazuki Beans coming back in, probably to play that main healer. But very a turmoil of emotions, because once that Bastion got slept, I'm like, wow, the defense have just lost all of this. How could he get mispositioned like that? But they didn't do anything with it. And then they end up getting a couple kills. I was just really confused. I got lost.
I think we all know what the real cause of the downfall of Mad Cow Disease is, that they didn't have Kazuki Beans who can stay alive in fights and just heal everybody, which allows everybody else to stay alive.
Yeah, pretty important, I
So
suppose.
it is confirmed with this game that Kazuki Beans is definitely the one that is carrying that entire team.
Yep.
Oh, she must have a very strong back, because they're lagging behind.
Yep. And with this, they'll probably have Crystallize swap back to the off-tank position, I assume, and we'll have to see if... I've seen a lot of good play out of Destructive Dude and Crystallize together. I think mainly off of Destructive Dude's loud comms, obviously, but they'll hopefully be able to work together a little bit more.
Wow.
I'm back in the fight.
But we are going over to Numbani, where, you know what, we're going to see a little bit of history in the making. No longer the Doomfist Gauntlet because Doomfist took back and reclaimed his gauntlet. We're going to see just a random tube
Property.
that just says property of. You know, I feel like they could have definitely put something else in there, and I don't know.
Made us hopeful. Can you imagine like a little one of those explosion balls from Hammond? That'd been funny.
You know, that would actually be pretty funny. I feel like they should just, you know, whenever they announce a hero, just put whatever like is related to the hero in the Numbani card.
It'd be. It might ruin the lore a little bit, but just retcon, easy. And
I mean, the lore doesn't really matter in this game.
Yeah, who cares the lore? We're here for the gameplay, and we're here for PV picking off Senpai immediately on that Hanzo. That's huge.
Senpai get wrecked as that Hanzo gets an easy log headshot on you. Destructive Dude doing a little bit of interference. Crystallize following up. Great job, a little wombo combo with them. Destructive Dude just going to be able to take out the Ana as they're going to be taking out the Mighty Wolf in the back line. That is one less hero that's taking on as the entirety of Mad Cow Disease is staying alive and healthy as they're going to continue on, taking the high ground, the low ground, the high ground again. As they're able to jump up from the scooter, showing his ground cannot be contested. He's going to be swinging away at Destructive Dude, charging into the point. And already, Dragon Strike coming out of TV Junkie and being able to take out so many people, mainly Scarlet and Spagooter together. And as they fall down, nobody's on the point. They didn't even want to be on the point. They were too good for it. As they're going to continue on getting the objective, going on into the payload section of the game, of this hybrid map. And it's going to give a little bit of thinking space for the Dabs.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of DPS swaps. We're gonna be seeing Senpai off the Soldier onto the McCree, changing over to the Tracer, but getting picked off immediately by TV. Another costly stagger as Destructive jumps in and just gets clapped. Ouch. You had no diva with you today, sir.
Feels bad when you don't have a diva to DM you when you make your ballsy jumps.
Yep. And we'll have to see if the Demons can do anything because right now it doesn't seem to matter. They haven't even tried contesting.
Gonna be waiting for this other corner to come on in, trying to get the better advantage. Your Pendry gonna be contested up and above Crystallize, helping out Destructive Dude. But Crystallize getting punished for it in the high ground. Spagooter, you're gonna see actually get something in the foreground, but basically allowing hit Senpai in the high ground, in the background, just to be able to get hit after hit after hit. You know, you don't have to worry when you can just click the foreheads.
Yep, just click their foreheads, and it was a nice hammer down that ended up winning them the fight. Like I said before, if you can get a one fight off of just one ultimate, that's really huge for a team. And it's looking to be an explosive fight coming up as pretty much all the ults are up for the red side. Starting with that
Dragon Strike taking out Scarlet.
Oh, the supports are gone!
The supports are already being taken out as they're going to try to desperately try to find what they can. Senpai getting a great reprieve out, taking out Kazuka Beans and Evo Light. That are two big threats coming on in, maybe giving them some hope. But Spagooter getting taken out, that should be able to get them the point. Senpai being taken out so far in the back lines of that offense. And they'll be going into point 3 with 5 minutes left. That is so much time, and they've been able to just continue to push past the defenses of the Dabs.
Yeah, and they're just going to be continuing on through Destructive Dude, wanting to be as aggressive as possible. Get that ult charge fast. Spagooter doing a try-by charge. Doesn't hit anyone, but definitely looked funny.
Definitely wanted to just say hi, but Evo Light coming in with the blade, but unable to get taken out by Freefeed, who is Justice, stopping his evil blade of tyrannical
and weebness.
You cannot. There can only be one true.
What?
We don't know what's the comparison of them.
Interestingly, that was... Sorry, I was just thinking about Huckle Toon somehow like staying alive as 5 people stare down on him, and the dragons are coming out again, and the Mighty Wolf dies again to the dragons. This is huge. Scooter's down. Scarlet's trying to ult, but just gets shot out of the sky, and TV's going off. He killed Senpai too.
Nerf this.
Oh my gosh. He
Oh,
does
but
die.
TV just getting taken out. That is their big momentum. It's gonna be resurrected. We need to talk about Kazuki Beans getting all these resurrections out. What the hell? Stop it, MCD. Anyway, we're gonna be seeing an additional Scooter being able to block something, but Crystallize getting taken out. The Mighty Wolf, Scooter trying to hold on to the point as much as they can. They have the Diva to get that DM. Scooter getting taken out. Another Dragon Strike getting eaten up by your Pendry. Good job on him, but already getting taken out. But that's going to be the point for Mad Cow Disease as they spread their pestilence off of round 1.
Yeah, Mad Cow Disease saying they don't need the tanks to win fights as they continuously go ridiculously far forwards just to try to make space, and they die for it. But if their team's just pushing the cart the entire time and the defense can't stop them, it doesn't matter, as it shows that they end up pushing it all the way with 3 minutes to spare. It worked out really well for them. We'll have to see what the Dabs can do on their offensive push.
Definitely have to admit that having a Brigitte would have been a necessary evil in that with that dive. Definitely having the hard CC just to keep them entrenched in their position would have been a very
nice.
great boon.
It's hindsight's 2020s. In the middle of the chaos, when Winston's just jumping on you every single fight, you just kind of get frustrated, and you need someone to be calm-headed enough to say, we need this swap. And from what I know about the Dabs, their shot callers are Senpai and Free Fee normally. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just can't call that type of thing for their team. I'm sure they say what they want to run at the very beginning, but it's pretty difficult in the middle to ask for this. And we're going to be seeing TV's Bastion round 2.
We're also, looks like we might be seeing a Tracer coming out of Senpai, so maybe some cheeky flanks coming out in the background. Unless he all of a sudden makes a big change. No, we are going to see that Tracer. I am excited to actually see what is going to become of this.
Yeah, it might actually work really well against the Bastion if he can get ult charge fast enough and just land a stick on him. It's a pretty easy target. The Bastion's not going to move. Look how spread out they are. This player is going to... Oh, the Winston jumps right in immediately. Scooter's not exactly with him, though. And the Mighty Wolf gets picked off first.
Now that Barry getting destroyed, to use their line of sights to try to keep what they can alive and away from that Bastion. But TV is going to get another great advantageous position on the high ground as he's going to be able to clean up everybody else. Unable to really do anything, just Scooter sacrificing himself unnecessarily. Junkie is just going to be able to go back into that turret form, and they're going to just reset their position and get this defense another go.
Yep, something's oddly satisfying about seeing a Bastion shoot a Winston jumping mid-flight and then the Winston just cartwheeling. It's real silly. As we will see Senpai trying to get his ult as quickly as possible. We'll see the barrage coming out of Free Feet. If he can find the Bastion in some secluded space, maybe it'll work out, but hard to see him having too much of an effect. Oh, but TV's kind of left alone right now as he's getting split off from his team, and a nice barrage straight on the Destructive's face.
Yeah, Free Feet doing a great job, but sacrificing himself. The tire can take Scooter out of the car, but that is the only thing is gonna be left alone as Free Feet is able to continue on with the rocket assault. As they're gonna be able to get the objective and continue on to the payload portion of the map with 4.5 minutes left on this push. Only took a few more tries than did the Mad Cow Disease, but who knows, maybe if they're able to get crystallized, this is going to be a big pick, as well as Kazuki Beans. That is going to be so much space they're going to be able to take in this streets phase of Numbani.
Yeah, and they're pushing really far up, giving themselves breathing room just to push slowly. And as long as they don't engage and they just keep them held back there, it's gonna be tough. TV's sticking on this Bastion just because he has ulti. I'm expecting him to get nanoed and try to pull off some big stuff, but it's not gonna be easy unless Pagoda's out of mech.
Yeah, and Senpai doing a great job staying alive, knowing the background. And a big shatter coming out. They're going to be able to combo that and everything else. That should be a one-up fight for the Mad Cow Disease. They are using their ults in full force, having only to use the Nano Boost and TV Junkie. And did they use... No, they also used the shatter. They used three ults for that. Seeing a pause coming out of your pen dry for the side of the Dabs, which gives us a chance to talk about our sponsors. Cal, would you like to talk about our sponsors?
You know, water. It's great. Drink it free. Unless you pay for it. I'll leave the rest to you.
Great. And we also have Subway. Who even eats at Subway anymore? We don't know. Place has kind of been going belly up after they after he who shall not be named. Anyway, also Bad Dragon. Is that candy?
You know, unlikely. As we can see, there does seem to be some communications issues as they're reading up though, and we'll be able to get it right into it. Senpai, he swapped over to this Widowmaker, try to maybe deal with the Bastion from long range. Bastion's fall off range is pretty difficult, and we'll have to see if that works out for them at all.
Briefly getting taken out by TV, they're gonna have to try to reset. But on the bright side,
wait, Spagooter? He just runs in and gets TV. I didn't think TV was that low. Let's get demeched. I expect TV to swap off this Bastion. I don't think it's... Yeah, he's gonna be changing the Hanzo just to get back quicker, honestly. Expect the grab out of Crystallize B. Watching him and seeing if the Mighty Wolf can transcend time, but Stockholm get picked immediately. And this looks like just a one fight for the offense. This is going to be really hard to defend. TV does pick up the Mighty Wolf, but it won't matter as he just gets rezzed.
Alright, but they have 4 minutes to get to the next point. If they go uninterrupted, should be getting about 3.5, but gonna be going around this corner. Gonna be having a little bit of difficulties as they continue on. Evil Light switching over to the McCree, as well as TV switching over to the Hanzo. So going on, trying to contest that pharmacy, and High Noon coming out, but just mainly for the reload as Evil Light gonna be able to pick up everybody else. Sector Dude jumping in, and it looks like everyone's got jungle fever because we are seeing Winston's on both sides.
Going way far in there. It's Destructive Dude playing aggro as per usual. He might have to ulti. Or he doesn't have ulti yet. Try to get out, but defense is keeping him healthy.
Right. And I'm a little surprised that they're still trying to go for this Winston jump for their offense, because with this third point, it is actually very, very good to be playing the Ryan Zarya, especially since you want that wombo combo. The defense does have the spawn advantage, but it looks as though the Dabs are actually able to push up a little bit more. And they're going to continue on. Mad Monkey being popped by Destructive Dude, going to try to hold on as much as he can. A self-destruct coming out of Gooder as they're going to continue on trying to go with this push, getting a little bit more. Senpai switching over to the Sombra, going to see if they might be able to actually get a bit more of a wombo combo with the EMP, allowing everybody on that team of the Mad Cow Disease unable to use any of their abilities, as we know right now, abilities are so crucial in any team fight.
Yeah, he's been hacking Crystallize over and over, stopping him from ulting, and I'm guessing the Mighty Wolf ulti there just to stay alive from the Winston, as just ultis coming out from the offense as they're pushing forwards. Evil Light gets a huge ulti though and picks up 3. That should be the end for the offensive push.
And definitely buying them more time. If they can get them to only be in, even if it's just overtime, that is what the Mad Cow Disease wants. They want them to be wasting more time. Senpai does have that EMP on the back burner though, as they're probably going to try to utilize it in some way with Freefy to get that rocket barrage in the air.
Yep. Best case scenario, he gets all 6 and gets the farmers. Oh wait, Just was way too far forward. I misunderstood who was on what team. And they will continue to just be staggered out. I think the offense needs to fully reset. They only have a minute to go. It's getting rough.
Yeah, and it's looking very, very bleak for the side of the Dabs, but they do have a spark of hope. They do have the EMP, they do have the Rocket Barrage. Your Pendry on the Monkey, they should be able to do a little bit of an engagement. Maybe they can provide a little bit of space for things to happen.
The goal of the defense here is to be able to get this grab out and just be in their faces as much as possible. If they do get hacked immediately, let's see if the offense can follow up. But Senpai dies. Quick, Freefy gets a barrage on the Crystallize and survives. That's huge. But Destructive Dude's going to be surviving for quite a long time. Or not.
Getting that Discord Orb on him, that's so huge. They're going to continue on with the grab combo out of TV and Crystallize, finally able to get that grab. Evil Light in the background, gonna try to zone out anybody that he can with the Deadeye. Unable to get anyone, but it's gonna be 15 seconds left, only Spagooter, and we might actually see a victory coming out of the Mad Cow Disease.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try to be 3v6ing this, and that's gonna be super tough, as the Winston will jump in. He will have to touch here with the Lucio, and they do pick up Huckleton, which is a nice start. Evil Eye dying 2, 3v ulting, gets no one, no, gets 2!
As they're able to actually do that, they can actually do this! They can actually get that on there, and they do it! But the consolation, it's maybe a consolation prize, this allows them to try to go for a draw.
But this is better than losing for sure, as they will be able to try to hold their best for 3 minutes to stop one tick from Mad Cow Disease, but that's better than what we thought. I didn't think they were looking like they were in a 3v6 situation, and they just got pick after pick. Really well done off of them, especially Freefy on that Pharah. He came out huge.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what is going to be coming out of the Mad Cow Disease, since they have 3 minutes and 12 seconds to get this push. They effectively have at least 5 or 6 pushes in them. If they're able to, do it very efficiently, just go in. If they fail, they're able to just be able to get out right away, and then they should be able to at least stack up their ultimates to at least get a good team fight going in their favor, and hopefully they can win the war of attrition.
For sure. Their defense is going to be consisting of that Pharah that Freefy has been enjoying. And Senpai, going back to the Mei, a very nostalgic pick for those who are just trying to hold out as best as they can. TV and Evil Light will be on the Genji and Hanzo. Genji obviously for Evil Light, and looking for some dive. Oh, we're looking for another pause. We go into the very last push, not last push, but like last rate of the map. I don't know the word for that. Attack, I suppose. Do have some tech issues, as per usual. And we need to delay this game as long as possible to make sure people have to stay awake. And but what's really awkward about this actually is they're gonna have to them being on the defense without one of their supports. It's gonna be without their Mercy actually. She's gonna have to run all the way back from spawn once she comes back, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is gonna be very, very bad. I know what mouse bug she's talking about, where I believe if no one saw the chat, they said there was a mouse bug, and usually sometimes what'll happen is the mouse cursor will show up on screen where the crosshair is.
Oh, that's gross.
And it looks unless there's another thing where you can't even her mouse is just really bad, and all of a sudden she just can't even shoot. But I mean, might just need to rebind the key and then just use, I don't know, the V button to heal. I mean, that's or maybe the just use your middle finger and your right finger to do WASD, and then maybe hold tab.
Yeah. Unsure, but they're gonna have to fight a 5v6 without her for a little bit. She is coming back on Overwatch, but right now, I can't tell, but it looks like Spagooter's kind of alone against the Lucio and Genji of Huckleton and Evilite, respectively. And I have to see where that comes out. I can't see exactly from what my point of view is paused at, but Scooter gets demeched, it might have some big implications.
Yeah, definitely fighting with one person down is going to be going to be very difficult.
For sure, and especially for Freefy, who's relying on the pocket from Scarlet's Mercy. It's gonna be a lot harder to get those kills on TV's Hanzo without the damage boost. He is back in game, but I'm not sure if we'll have to wait for the ready calls. Yeah, they are there. I wouldn't be surprised if Scarlet went to Lucio just to get back quicker, but no, she will be on the Mercy. Like I said, Spagooter getting caught out alone above high ground, and now they're just falling apart as the Mighty Wolf goes down. This is now a 3v6. Senpai's down. Just Freefy on the point, holding for very last little bit, but that will be over as the Mad Cow Disease takes the mass map and the series.
And that is very unlucky for the side of Dabs, but we don't have to worry about that because TV Junkie got that play of the game as Hanzo. Get out both supports in this Dragon Strike, if I remember correctly, or at least one. Doesn't even have to worry about it. No, it just takes out the support just with the regular shot. Doesn't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, at 38% of team's hero damage, that's insane. That's like you're basically playing as like 3 characters by yourself. when you're doing that much in a game with 6 players. So yeah, well done out of the Mad Cow Disease to take the map. Maybe a little bit unlucky with Scarlet having the issues, but I thought I said the series, but I forgot that Lijiang Tower is also in this map. And well, I'm sorry, so much happened on that Numbani map. I already forgot who won the first map. Did Mad Cow Disease win Volskaya? It's 1-1. I apologize for that, as I've forgotten it. So coming down to Lijiang Tower, the most brawly of the maps. We'll see which part of it we'll get first, and it will be the Pharah part. How I like to call it. Who needs names when you just know that this is meant for Pharah? Yeah, I expect to see Evilite and Freefy in the air together in those battles. We'll have to see who can come out on top. Last map, there's more Evilite on Genji, I believe. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting team fight as they are going to be playing for the week win on Lijiang. They won't be able to tie this time around, so we're not going to be seeing a happy ending for both sides. As we continue on, going to be going over to what is this Garden? Please tell me it's Garden.
I don't think Garden is a name of one of these maps. I honestly forget.
It's not Tower, is it?
No. We're really knowledgeable casters here. Only the best, but all I know about it is it's a Pharaoh map. And Free Feed will be on that. TV gonna be on the Doomfist. See what he can grab. Gonna be a little bit more difficult for him.
Yeah, gonna be taking the spot first since they do have the speed boost from the Lucio. A big ballsy charge coming out of Crystallize. But guess what? Everybody on Macro Disease, they have destructive on that Tracer. They have the Doomfist. But and with that, they're gonna be able to take out most of the people. But they're gonna be bringing back. And Gooder already getting that Earth Shatter, but they don't even have to worry about it because look at that, TV Junkies on that Doomfist. DPS staying alive.
Zarya versus the DPS though, as it would just be Destructive Dude versus Senpai.
Oh, who has better tracking? It's definitely going to be who has better tracking. I believe it's Senpai, but yep, see, I believe it's Senpai. Senpai is going to take him out, but it doesn't matter because they're going to continue on with the fight as they continue on getting pinned. Competitor going to have to get back, maybe get a little bit of healing from the back. But free TV Junkie trying to do what he can with Doomfist. But a huge grab coming in to see if they can actually get anyone healed because there's actually coming in with the Kamehameha as they continue on to keep everybody alive, but there's still 0.
Everyone's pressing Q!
Everybody's pressing Q as they're going to continue on taking out both supporters as they continue on to Senpai, taking out TV Junkie as they continue with the fight going on, but that Cow Disease is going to be taking the point.
Yeah, they got the memo that they needed to press Q. This fight must be won because no one has gotten it, and the first person to get it is, I suppose, pretty important. The red side's actually, Mad Cow Disease is running a triple DPS comp with Evilite on the McCree and Destructive Dude on the Tracer. They've run this a couple times and it's worked out on maps like Junkertown. Interesting to see it here. See if it can work out for them in the long run.
You can see on the fight Hydra coming out of Evilite, seeing anyone taking out to Mighty Wolf as they're going to continue on with the fight, taking the advantage out of. For the Mad Cow Disease, they're going to continue on with this defense, going to be going on to at least 50%. TV Junkie showing some smooth moves on that Doomfist, getting a high position. Looking at him, a sly devil, going to see if he can catch the Dabs off guard as they're going to continue on to the bridge. They're going to push a little ways away, and TV Junkie is going to see if he can get something.
Where are you going, bud? And he's looking for a flank, but he almost has ulti, and he does.
But a grab coming out of Senpai being sacrificed in the meantime. But ults galore coming out of TV Junkie just to make sure he's able to get kills, and TV Junkie with that Doomfist working overtime with Huckleton and Crystallize. They're going to be able to capitalize on another defense of that point. Hopping on into the 80 percentile mark. They're going to have at least one fight left in for the Dabs as they're going to desperately try to get back into the point. Destructive Dude going to try to throw a pulse bomb. Misses his mark as he's going to be teleporting back. Scooter and Senpai taking out Destructive Dude, Crystallize, and Evil Light as they're going to be having the man advantage. TV Junkie going to see if he can get, maybe, hopefully, set up for another fight, but it's going to be taken out. No, going to go back into the fight as he might be able to. Yep, he's going to be able to get out of the fight as they're going into percentage points for the Dabs.
Yeah. They finally got ult advantage as TV does get staggered a little bit. It won't matter too much. They just need to win one fight, and they. The real issue for them right now is how much armor does this Dabs team have right now. They got the Brigette Rally, and it's Gonna be hard to get rid of them, specifically Senpai, because he's got the blue armor in front of it.
Crystallize with the bubble gonna be stripped away in the front line as they're gonna continue on. Crystallize with a charge, able to take out Scarlet, but is able to stay alive for at least a little while longer as they're gonna continue on. The crash down, taking down anybody, but they're not able to really follow up too much. Crystallize being taken out by Senpai. The Dabs gonna be fighting for their life, looking like they have the man advantage with one less Reinhardt on the field. But the Tracer doing work in the back line just a little bit, trying to be annoying. Senpai taking out another person on Mad Cow Disease. Armor getting pulled up by Freefy. They're going to continue on to play on this brawl. Crystallize being focused out as they're going to continue on and on and on and on as Grab is going to be desperately pulled out. And not 70% being stacked up for the Dabs. And Huckleton's going to be going into the fray. Maybe he can get something. But it's gonna be hard for him.
This is what's going on. Like, why don't they just reset? Stop fighting. You have ults to go together, and Crystallize gets knocked into the void. Man, they just gave up 88%. That was horrid.
You know, sometimes you just lose sight and you think you can go for it, but maybe you just need to know that you just can't.
Yeah, they won't be able to touch, thankfully. But this is the very last fight, and a solo grab on the Crystallize, who will get healed up. He loses his shatter because he's trying to shatter in the grab.
Then make sure, and Mad Cow Disease has to make sure they at least have one person inside the point at all times. The man advantage definitely going over to the Dabs, as they're going to be taking out yet another person in Evo Light. They're going to be able to swing away, keeping Spagooter alive. They're going to be able to get someone. And a great crash down coming out. Spagooter getting taken out of the fight with a ride for Crystallize. Well, not Crystallize, actually. TV Junkie. Taking out the Graviton Surge, though. So a great pick in the meantime. But, oh, Evo Light coming back in. And the man advantage actually coming on top for the Mad Cow Disease. They're actually able to turn this around.
There's only two Pharaohs here, and honestly, I feel like the Mad Cow Disease got a little bit lucky with how sloppily they played it the whole time, and they just managed to out-teamfight them in the end. But it's not over yet, as they're trying to stall a little bit, but little by little, it's hard to see Senpai stalling on this Tracer forever as his comrades die around him. And they will lose it. But not without a lot of sloppiness out of Mad Cow Disease.
Score 0-1.
Very close. Well, this is City Center. I know that for sure. Or it's Control Center, one of the names. This is the map where you would see goats most often used, or Junkrats and Maze and all sorts of little cheesiness. X.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Like Freefy and Evil Light both will be on that Junkrat, use these close corridors to their advantage. Me. Scooter charges in, he does get bubbled, but he's like way far on his own now. As he will get picked off, traded with Huckleton. As kills on both sides go through.
And Mad Cow Disease is going to be able to take the first point, getting percentage points on their side. Are going to up to at least 20%. Going to be pushing forward into the choke point of the Dabs. Continue on. They're going to be able to. Going to be backing off a little bit, give themselves a little bit of breathing room, as the Dabs are going to be coming forward, creepy on that Junkrat.
Destructive Dude's Tracer kind of reminds me of just like a pesky fly. I never see him actually getting any kills at all, but ends up working as E-Flight gets a tire immediately, takes out the Reinhardt, might force a reset. Crystallize goes forwards and finds the 3 people behind him, gets a massive shatter.
Great job of Crystallize, further securing even more percentage points onto the control point for them. And it's not looking very good for the side of the Dabs. They are still in a creek without a paddle, and they have a long way to slog. Despite already getting taken out by Evolite, by all the spamming, by the spammed bombs, coming out a tire, getting also flame striked, unable to get any value out of its Magooter, and Crystallize doing a little bit of a dance of the Sugar Plum Berries as they continue on charging at nothing. And they're gonna just be tossing Qs out as they continue on, Q after Q after Q after Q after Q, but guess what? Mad Cow Disease just pressed their Q buttons a little bit harder today, as they're going to be going into 85-87%. Scarlet going to be the only hope they can get to try to contest this point. They're going to try to just snuff them out, and if they can't do anything about that, that is going to be the game for Mad Cow Disease, and that is the game.
Yeah, a little bit anticlimactic, perhaps. I really think TV's Zarya carried them through a lot of that. His grabs were pretty instrumental in winning them fights. These really long, drawn-out fights.
Play of the game.
Nonetheless, TV with the play of the game again.
And big punch. He even gets slams, but he's able to capitalize. Not even on it. Not even his own grab.
Yep. Just trying to get, because of how close everyone was with the Brigitte and stuff, just trying to hit it. They decided to ult right there and gets a kill and knocks the Brigitte off. Well done out of Mad Cow Disease to win the series. 2-1.
2-1. Definitely seeing that having that those reses and all that just consistent healing. I'm sorry, Mad Cow, but you've been benched.
Yeah.
I love you though, because the team is named after you, and I think if you're out there in chat, give some pog champs to Mad Cow, because he needs it. Mad Cow is the real MVP here.
Nonetheless, that will wrap up the night.
Yep. That wraps it. Cut the stream.